Anyway, the plan of attack today with Minecraft, because I do want to play Minecraft today. I want to widen out the ravine that we're kind of living in, or near, and I think long-term, I'll probably turn that ravine into a sorter, a storage area. We'll see. I'm trying to think what I was doing last time. I think we were just exploring last time. So yeah, we're going to do some ravine cleanup. That's the plan, at least. We've also got those villagers to sort out. Oh yeah, I forgot we have farms. Okay, so at some point we'll do the farms. Cave spider decoration. Well, I think that's going to go side by side with the ravine cleanup. I'm going to start on this side of the ravine first. When I say ravine cleanup, I'm widening it all out. In fact, all of this side, I think, will go at this bit. And then I'm going to, as we get closer over here, we'll bring out this side as well. Because I've got something down there that I don't want sticking out. Uh-oh. Why is Janice awake? What? Jesus. Ow. Okay, so the plan of action is just literally strip it down as much as possible. I don't know whether I should get the silk touch, or I might pull this back so that this all kind of like meets up and links in, so we don't have to like loop around like that. I'm not sure. Yeah, I want to get rid of all of that. Okay, let's start with our big decisions. Well, the first things first, let's get rid of this bridge. Because I'm not going to need that bridge. It's completely useless being here. It doesn't do anything, so let's get rid of it. Actually, this wood can be used for chests to put all of the resources in. Because I will want to save all of these items. I think I'm gonna go with the stone, so we'll use our silk touch pick when we're going through here. I'm actually gonna turn all of those into chests. We can get more wood. There we go. That's it. No more wood. Actually really low on material. Like those sort of materials I'm low on, but then I've got the acacia there. Actually, we should go and plant those. Don't think I'm going to really be using acacia that much. We'll see. Bum, bum, bum. So yeah, I'm just planning on having like just a bit of a chill stream today. I'm not gonna focus too much. Like I said, my head really hurts at the moment, so I might call it early and we might not do Phoenix. I don't know, it depends how I'm feeling. If I can shake the headache, then it'll be fine. Need to figure out a way of farming that efficiently. It might be at nighttime. It might be in the dark when they grow. Actually, now I think about it. We should probably work on getting this one up to spec, shouldn't we? What efficiency do we have in here? Do you know what? I should have used that efficiency 4 and put it on this. Yeah, efficiency 5. So I do have efficiency 5. That's what I should have done. Let's get another mending book. I don't know where all my books are, or whether I've even got books. Oh no, this is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. We don't necessarily need Unbreaking 3 on that. Alright, we'll use that one first. Ow. Okay, how am I going to do this? The best way would be to start from the top. Now, there's a little room down there, so maybe we could extend that out. Or maybe we could turn that into a farm or something. But yeah, if we start up from up there, I want to get up there where that stuff is. I think I can get up this way. And I want to take this down, because we don't need it. All of these rails I want. Definitely want all this iron as well. Perfect. We will have to fortune those before we do anything with it, but that's okay. Alright, let's start taking this down. I think I'm also going to rip out this layer just for the time being. We can always put things back. But I do find, like, the hardest part of me doing, like, base cleanup and stuff is ripping out what's already here. That's kind of, like, the thing where I'm like, do I want to get rid of this? Don't know whether I want to get rid of it, but... The thing is, if I get rid of things, then I'm more likely to replace it with nice stuff. Like, making it look nice. And that's like the first step. And then detailing comes after, right? Like, so I just need to make it look nice, turn it into a blank slate, and we should be good. Yeah, I definitely want to get the stone from here because I'll use it. Oh god, this is never ending! Okay, well, that can do down there. I will take all of this gravel, but anytime I see like a clump of gravel like this, I think I will take it. I'd like to start building up my reserves of gravel. I should have brought some torches. Get rid of all of that. Because this can be used as something later on down the line, right? Like, we can definitely put something in here. This is quite a nice area. There's so much copper. That's nice. So how is everyone today? What have you all been doing? I've had a bit of an interesting morning because, well, pretty much last night I kind of like I was playing Hearts of Iron and I kind of realized in Hearts of Iron like how to actually play it, like how to play it and win the match. One of the things with I play it quite a lot. I play Hearts of Iron quite a lot, but I never really win. I've never won World War II in Hearts of Iron, right? Like I've never won. I've won wars before, like so if I'm playing as Italy, I've annexed Ethiopia, so I've done that before, but I've never won World War II. Never won. And so yeah, I kind of started doing that today. Yes, there is more stuff down here. I thought there might be. I started winning yesterday. Right, I've got to be really careful here because I don't know how this is going to go. I need to like kind of visually look at it. We need to get up there. At the moment, the way up is this way, and then it was up that way, but that's going. So we now need to think, we need to figure out another way of getting up there. I'm going to get rid of all this dirt. It might help me kind of like visualize how this is going up. So let's get the dirt in. Hey Dop, how's it going, my dude? Right, let's have a look. So I need to bring this path. This needs to come down in that direction down here. No problem. I mean, good. I was like, wait, what? No problem. What have you been up to today? Nice Saturday morning, or afternoon, or insert time zone here, I guess. Okay, so what's up this way? So this is just another access thing. So let's rip all of that out. That's going to be our first quest, I think, because this did lead into here. I think I'm going to... I mean, if we use this area, and I would like to use this area probably at some point. Don't know what I'm going to use it as. But, computer all day. There's obviously something down in this direction. No? Maybe I heard something. I don't know. Maybe I heard like a zombie or something and I was trying to get to it. See if I could find a zombie. I don't know. It... starting to get confused about what parts of this... these areas I've kind of like explored and stuff. Starting to all blend into one. Doesn't help that mine shafts are like kind of all very visually similar. Yeah, so what did I do down here? That must have been an ore. I think I just did that. I think that was the iron. So yeah, I think I can safely get rid of this big chunk here. So let's do that. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to bring the roof of this up. Oh. Forgot that that was there. Okay, so maybe that's what we can do in that direction. Maybe we could turn that into the villager breeding section. I also want to get rid of all of this granite as well. This is going to be a slow slog. I can feel it, like this whole process. Although that being said, we made really good progress on this the other day when we were doing it, so maybe we'll make good progress on it today. I've only got 2 hours of this today. And then we're switching over to Phoenix. Usual Saturday content. There we go. So you've been on the computer all day. What have you been doing on your computer? Have you been playing video games or? I'm gonna say, the most of this morning I've been playing Hearts of Iron. Why is it that this song always comes on like really loud and it feels loud? I don't think it actually is a loud song. I think it just feels loud because of the instruments they're using. Hey, Mr. Clever. Definitely not that. So yeah, I've spent bits of the majority of this morning. Actually, I very nearly didn't stream until Phoenix. Animal, are you okay for Phoenix today? I'll ask you, because I haven't been on my computer that much, so I haven't been able to ask people. No. Are you not the Cyberman doctor? What? I don't know whether I want to... I do want to get rid of all of, like, this big chunk here, actually. Definitely want to get rid of that bit. There. And if we're getting rid of that, then we can push this back in a little bit as well. So this is the hard bit, because once you start taking things out, it does start to get more difficult to put them back in. And there's no doubt that this bit around here definitely needs something. It needs something. Because I'm not going to be able to go in that direction. So maybe this needs to drop down now. Got birthday in 45 minutes. Okay, no worries. Calling him Mr. Clever. Lost control of 49% of the brain. Yeah, and they played chess. It was a bad episode. It was good Matt Smith acting, but it was a bad Doctor Who episode, that was. It's mostly forgettable. In just 3 moves. Yeah. It's a bad episode of Doctor Who. It wasn't one of the better ones. Not one of my favourites. Good Matt Smith acting, though. Very, very good Matt Smith acting. Matt Smith was phenomenal in that episode. But then it was at the point where he was just kind of living Doctor Who at that point, right? So he'd been doing it for so long that he kind of could do it with his eyes closed. Okay, so this is looking a little bit better. Need to make that not flat. But I don't want it to look like there's just stairs going up there either, so... okay, so this is going to be the most difficult, I think. Because this doesn't quite work, I don't think. The clip where he works in a toy store. That was in... He worked in a toy store in a number of times, right? Matt Smith. That was when what's his face was in it for the second time with the Cybermen again. Yeah, that one's another forgettable one actually, in my opinion. I need to go and mend this pick in a minute. A number of times? I think so. Alright, let's get these chess monsters going. We're gonna have to do chess monsters now, because I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm having to mine out so much that I can't do it without chess monsters. Mining out so much and getting just so many resources, and I want all the resources as well. Alright, let's put them up here. So then at least it's all on like the same place. It will mean that whenever I want to find any of this, I'm not going to be able to find it. But for the time being, it's okay. It is what it is. Crafting table, I don't need that. I don't need the boat. Probably don't need the water bucket either. Definitely don't need the bed. Right, let's take out the rest of that now, I think. Then I can probably take out this pillar. Yeah, I'm pretty sure classic Doctor Who had Tom Baker working in a toy store once. Can't remember what the occasion was. So that has happened a number of times. But I presume you're talking about the one with, what do you call it? What do you call his face? Really annoying. James Corden. I like how I remembered his name when I said really annoying. Yeah, it was James Corden. It was one of James Corden's episodes. Was it the second one he did? I thought the first one was really good. I enjoyed the first one. The second one was trash. Mainly because the love interest wasn't really in it, right? Like, that was part of the big story with that character, was that he was really frustrated and couldn't tell her why she needed to stay. Matt Smith was also a doctor in a toy store, as I've just said, yes. That was the one with the baby, and yeah, it was a bit crap. I think. Because it had the Cyberman in it, right? And then James Corden gets turned into a Cyberman, and it's like, oh, but it's the power of love that saved you from being the Cyberman. It's like, well, what about all the other people that have been turned into Cybermen, that have people that they love, and they're just Cybermen now? Like, does that mean that they're now just not special? Like, what the fuck? Because there's no way that James Corden's character was that special. Like, he was a bit of an idiot. The only reason why he was quite a special person was because the Doctor came into his life. That was the only reason. Before the Doctor, he was a dull, boring idiot. Those don't truly love. Yeah, like I said, it wasn't the best. Wasn't the best episode. It kind of ruined the Cybermen as well, because the Cybermen didn't... Right, Cybermen are now downgraded to living in freaking elevator shafts, okay? At department stores. Sure. One time a person randomly got memories from a doctor and thought he was one. Well, the problem is that if what's-his-face can survive being a Cyberman, then what about Bill Potts, who was a special character? She was very much a special character. She was a special character before the Doctor came into her life. She was questioning and always, you know, she was ready to learn. She just didn't have the opportunity, I think. And the Doctor was the opportunity, whereas James Corden's character was a bit of a bore, I'll be honest. I did like the first episode with James Corden's character. I thought that was... I can't remember his name. I can't remember the character's name. I did like... I'm going to have to come and get some torches and line all this out. Also, there's some lapis down there. Let's go and get some torches. So, I mean, yeah, it just kind of meant that the Cybermen were now no longer a threat, because as long as you love someone, you will never turn into a Cyberman. So yeah, well, it wasn't one of the better stories. I mean, that's Doctor Who for you, though. Like, it's full of, like, crap stories and then some really, truly amazing stories. Peter Capaldi becomes the president of the world. Was that the Cyberman episode? When he was the president of the world? I thought that was the, that was the, what's it? Oh, is that when he became the president? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, actually, yeah, I do remember that. That's a good finale as well. It's a good series. I like that. Now, that is a good Cyberman story. The reason why is because the Cybermen aren't really the be-all, end-all bad guys. They're just the drones. They're being controlled by Missy. And when Danny Pink gets turned into a Cyberman, it's like, shit. Oh, wait, yeah, that means that Danny Pink kind of, like, saved himself from being a Cyberman as well because of love and care. But I think Danny Pink is, again, a special character. Like, I don't think that was necessarily a cop-out. I was okay with that. I like the Danny Pink story arc. But I think I'm one of the few people that do like the Danny Pink story arc. I know a lot of people don't like Danny Pink and they don't like Clara. I do. I thought it worked for me personally. It was for me it was like the right level of science fiction, Doctor Who nuss going on. Alright, let's get some dirt for scaffolding. Sure, I picked up a bunch of dirt. I did. So if this is going to be like kind of like a pillar that separates my base to the ravine, it needs to look like a pillar that separates my base to the ravine. It needs to kind of like look like a pillar. Can you not do that, please? Can you not do that, please? Might have to move back a little bit to make sure that this looks right. Whoops. Got the Cyberman army from Missy. The one that I mean, he might have been called president of the world for that. But he didn't accept his role as president, right? Like, the episode that I was thinking of when you said the president, that he was the president of the world. Is Series 9 with the absorby things that can turn into humans. That's the one I was thinking of. He didn't like being the president. Yeah, I remember now, yeah. That was the one that I was thinking of when you said president, because he's like... I think it was Series 9. Where he's like flying in the jet and he's doing all the stuff and then he gets like blown up in the sky thing. Do you know what thinking is? It's just a fancy way of saying changing your mind. Because you never know. Ah, no. Okay. This is going to take a lot more work than I thought it was going to. I can feel it now. Can have an overhang here, I think. Maybe. And yeah, I'm still chopping it away. And at some point I'll have to come in and replace like all of the andesite as well. I'm not a good man. I'm not a madman either. A bad man either. I am an idiot! In a box, passing through, helping out. I don't need an army, because I have them. I never have. Yeah, it's a good moment. Good series finale, I think. I think it was a good way of like finalizing Capaldi's Doctor in that first series. That first series that he did, Series 8, was probably one of his best. Not many people would disagree with Doctor Who, with the Doctor Who episode. Didn't know you watched Doctor Who, Fox. Hey, Fox. Hey, Discount. How's it going? Oh, that you're an idiot. Oh, I see. Okay, you're just being mean. I see. It's a Doctor Who reference. Mean, you're the one that said it. It was a quote. It was a quote. It was a quote. I have to leave for the birthday. Okay, no worries, Animal. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping by, my dude. Only ever seen a little bit of Doctor Who. I think we've had this conversation before. That's why I was a little bit surprised that you were saying, because I read it as though you were saying not many people would disagree with the Doctor kind of thing. You don't need an army. I'm like, Armies are for people who think they're right, and no man thinks they're more righter than you. It's a good episode. Lots of people like Doctor. Yeah. This is going to be a big project. I can feel it. Especially without a beacon, this is a pain in the ass. We've got, like, I've not even, like, started on the ravine yet. I'm doing the entrance to the ravine. That's the ravine. And the more I carve away, the more I'm thinking that I'm making a mistake in carving so much away. I'm not sure. I think what I'm going to do is I'll turn all of this into, like, a staircase, maybe. I don't know. I want to avoid using as much staircases and stuff in my base as possible. I want, like, ridiculous contraptions, like slime launchers and stuff everywhere, where you just, like, bounce up and... I want contraptions, that's what I want, but I don't have slime blocks yet. So, well, I know where a slime farm is, a slime chunk is I haven't been bothered to make the slime farm. I watched the Weeping Angel one, so I knew why the Weeping Angel cat was funny. Yeah, the Weeping Angel one's a good episode. I think it's a little bit overrated, though. In my opinion, I think it's a little bit overrated. Everyone says it's their favorite, and I don't necessarily always agree with that. It's a good episode. I'm not disagreeing that it's a good episode. I just don't think it's my... It deserves to be, like, held in as much high regard as what you can. Although that being said, it is one of the better ones, I guess. The cat makes it. Cat makes the episode, do you think? Well, I heavily disagree with that because I hate cats. They're all evil, as well you know. As well you know, they are all evil. Well, cats hate you. That's absolutely 100% true. Yes, they do. And boy, do I know it. Huh. Okay, so we can kind of like come around this way. You see, I don't like this. I don't like what I'm doing with this. And then there's all this area under here that I'm now going to have to either block off or find another... Oh, there's another entrance to it. Never mind. We can block it off then. Didn't want it anyway. Well, I don't want it looking like a square, though. Please, game. Right, before I start getting trigger happy with the pick, let's make sure that I'm not ruining it. Hey T-Man, how are you? Fully autonomous shot full of gravitas. Is it ready? That's really just popped up. Dude, that's popped up. Out of nowhere. I mean, I kind of knew that they were building it, but... well, I mean, to be fair, no, actually, they've been saying that they were building this for a long time, but I didn't realize it was this ready. It's quite a lot bigger as well. It's a different shape. Completely different shape to the other ones. Looks much more modern. That one does. Looks much more modern. So does shortfall not need tugs then? I presume it doesn't need a tug. It's out in the middle of the ocean without a tug right now. I hate people. Sorry. Went down into a rabbit hole of Twitter for a second. Don't like Twitter. It gave me a slight aneurysm. Doesn't matter. I'm over it. I'm over it. It's social media. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah, no tugs. Yeah, it doesn't need a tug. It can go on its own, yeah. Interesting. I went down a rabbit hole of Twitter. Don't do that on stream. That's one of the rules of being a Twitch streamer. Don't go down a rabbit hole of Twitter while you're streaming. Don't do it. You're just gonna get annoyed. Just gonna get frustrated. In fact, just don't go on Twitter. Might need a tug to put it near the crane to carry Falcon 9.5. Dunno. Maybe. I don't think you need a tug for that though, right? You would have portside barge operations. So this goes down this way and then that kind of like opens up. So I'm actually thinking... Oh, I don't know. I'm making a mess, I think. Yeah, you see, I definitely want, like, bouncy things around here. To, like, bounce up and down. It is shaping up, though. I mean, it's looking... This area just looks nice to be in. I know there's a lot of dirt that I need to clean up and, like, granite and all sorts of stuff, but it feels a little bit more like a natural cave now. It's getting there, so maybe I need to just persevere with it, and we'll hopefully not make a pig's ear out of all of this. Let's push this back a little bit as well. One of the hardest things in Minecraft is making things look naturally formed. It's really difficult sometimes. Yeah, you see now, this bit here, I think I'm gonna block that off. I mean, is there any need for this? No, let's block it off. Let's block it off. There's a real art in this, I think, and it's not something that I'm necessarily very good at. Okay, all of that diorite can go, so we need to let's get rid of the diorite first. Yeah, I just mined a piece of stone and replaced it with a piece of stone. I don't care. I can hear it. Okay. Oh, but now I feel like I've gone down too low. That's because of this thing. I mean, all of this, it goes up and then it goes down. So maybe we do just, like, bring this down 2 layers. So then everything's on this layer. Right, we could get rid of that. Actually, get rid of that. Dragon got home yesterday. Nice. I think in the grand scheme of it, I'm actually going to block this off. I think I'm going to block this off. And I think the entrance into the ravine is going to be this, and we'll jump down. We'll get rid of all of this on the side here. Let's do that now. CRS 22 is done, yep. It's pretty cool, man. I think I've decided what I want to do. Instead of just like having just jumping routes all over, we'll have like multiple ways of getting around the base, right? So there'll be like multiple options. One of them will just be like the walking way if we need to walk for whatever reason, like if we're taking villages and things and doing other stuff like that, right? See, this is a bit flat now. Oh, what? Ah, Janice. Why would you do that? That actually made me jump slightly. I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy, Janice. Thank you very much. 2 month, not 2 month, tier 2. 14-month resub. Thank you. 14 months? That's 14 months? What? When did that happen? When did that happen, Janice? Well, you don't have to say when that happened. It obviously happened just now. When did that happen? Literally just now. You just hit the button, Womble. Oh, 14 months ago. Yeah. Hilarious. No, thanks for the continued support, my dear. I appreciate it. This is such a big project. Okay, yeah. Okay, I see it now. I see what I have to do. I'm gonna get rid of this. Get rid of this completely. Makes a lot more sense now. Get rid of that. Okay. Still not quite right. 3 drone ship in operation now. It's about time, right? Like, they've been on about doing a 3rd one for such a long time. We had been wondering for a very long time because they just didn't tell us what anything about it, which is not like SpaceX. So. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really been following that much space stuff recently, T-Man. I think I had a little bit of a fatigue on it. Just so much of it was going on that I kind of got a little bit like overwhelmed, maybe. Okay, so Janice, it's more to the point of why did that happen? Why? Why the fuck are you subbing for me for 14 months? Don't do that. It's weird. It's weird. Okay, that looks better. This might be just like a continuing project, like that we do over a long period of time. Not quite sure. To be fair, I kind of need to do this early on anyway, because once we've got the ravine and like the cave kind of at least the shape of it cleaned up and stuff, I'll be able to like push forward and do other stuff. Wait, someone used Womble in a negative the other day. Like, you can be good, or you can be a complete Wombleton and be a dick type of thing. I was going to defend your name and be like, hey, that's not Womble. Not all Wombles are jerks. But then I thought about it and was like, woo, he kind of is. Yeah, Womble's a dick. Absolutely, 100% agree with that. Don't tell me what to do. If I want to sub to you, I will. Fine, but I'll bitch and moan about it. Can't stop me from bitching and moaning. Bitch and moan all I like. Yeah, I just realized I was bitching and moaning about bitching and moaning. Right, okay, so this... Okay, so this up here... I do want to access this at some point, but I've kind of... Oh, dude, that looks so much nicer now that I've got rid of that. There's still a little bit. I've just noticed that there is still more work to be kind of done. See, just stepping back every so often to do this it makes it so much easier. If all the drone ships are going fully autonomous now, I don't think the others can be fully autonomous. They're not the right sort of barge, I don't think. Because shortfall is a completely different configuration. It's a different class of barge. Different class of vessel. Yeah, you would need some heavy, extensive upgrades in order to give full autonomy to the others, and they would be out of operation for a long time. Especially because Falcon isn't the priority at the moment. And will never be the priority ever again, I don't think. Uh-oh, T-Man. Uh-oh, you made an error. You made an error. She's gonna be annoyed. She's gonna be pissed off. Don't poke the bear's cage. Don't do it. She's gonna get all pissy now. She only used one N. Mind you, I'd get pissy if you only used one T in my name, so... Ah. Panda Badge Cage. Secondly, I don't hold others to know how to spell my name, and they don't really know me that well, especially you. I expect you to spell my name correctly, because you know we're sort of friends. That's a stretch. I'm also heavily dyslexic. So I've got a... oh god, this is gonna sound like I'm bragging. When I used to do performing arts, I won an award for Best Supporting Actor in a show called Habeas Corpus. Habeas Corpus. And on the certificate that they gave me a trophy and they gave me a certificate, right? On the certificate, they put my name, Matt, or Matthew. I go by either. I go by Womble. That's my name. Always has been. Always has been at school. I don't really have another name. But they the bitches won an award. Blah 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 blah. But they did. They spelled Matt M-A-T. Oh, I got pissy with that. I got very pissy. I was like, no. What? So I do get it. Didn't mean to do that. I did that twice. Yeah, I don't like to casually drop that I won an award a long time. I mean, it was 11 years ago now when I won that, so it's not like anything recent. I feel like the time has passed, right? Actually, yeah, the time has passed. I should never bring it up. That's more to the point. Unless someone asks me about it, I should never bring it up. That's the rules, right? If it's past its time, don't bring it up. So, but yeah, it was just an example. If it's an award, I feel like they should know who they were awarding it to. I know, right? I wasn't very pleased. I was like, come on now. Come on. So, yeah. I was just lazy. Just lazy. But to this day, it still has one T on it. On the certificate. On the trophy, it had two T's. But I think if I remember right... I don't have the trophy anymore. You had to give it back after a year. I think if I remember right, we had to go and engrave the trophy myself, kind of thing. So we had to get it engraved separately. They weren't responsible for that because you're supposed to do that when you hold the trophy, right? And then you go and get it engraved. And it wasn't really a trophy, it was more of a plaque. The trophy went to the Best Supporting Actor. Best Supporting Actor got a trophy, and Best Director got a trophy. Best Actor, sorry, got a trophy. Best Supporting Actor only got a plaque. And I was supporting. I wasn't the lead actor in that play. I was in a supporting role. I didn't actually receive the award because I couldn't go to the award night. So someone else received it for me. Yeah, so someone else received it for me because I couldn't go to the award night. I also didn't think I was going to win the award. I didn't even know that I was being nominated. So I knew the play was up that I was in. I knew that was up for awards, but we didn't exactly know. We didn't know who was being nominated for things or anything like. Because it's not like the Oscars, right? It wasn't like the Oscars, where you know in advance. All the judging... Basically, the judging happened over like a long period of time. So they came around and saw your plays. And this was for a play that I was in months and months and months previous. So, because it's like through like the whole course of the year, they judge it up, right? So I kind of wasn't really involved in the company, in the group that I was in the play with, because I'd moved on and I was doing other things, because that's how acting works, right? You don't stay with the same company. You have to move on and do stuff like that, otherwise you just don't get work. So I wasn't even really involved, and it wasn't until there was a phone call. I knew that there was an award ceremony that was coming up, but I didn't know that I was nominated for an award. I don't think anyone knew that they were nominated, but yeah, anyway. So yeah, I didn't even know I was nominated, and it wasn't until I received a phone call from someone saying, "Hey, you got Best Supporting Actor in the play." I was like, "Oh, okay." I was quite confused, so I didn't get to collect the award. I don't think I would. I think I was busy for the award ceremony anyway, because I was asked if I would attend, and I said I wasn't going to attend. So I did say that I couldn't attend. So I was aware that there was a ceremony going on, but yeah, I didn't. So I think I'm gonna block this off, so I don't know why I'm mining all of that in there. What's this? Ooh, nice. Nice photo. I mean, it's all irrelevant anyway. It was years and years and years ago now. It's nothing to talk about or boast about or do anything about now. No, I don't want that. I want this. I kind of want... I don't want it to be just like a square in here. There does have to be some form of shape. But I don't want... I want overhangs. I don't want underhangs, because those mobs will spawn, because I don't want to light up the top of the cave. I want it to be dark at the top. And that'll go with what the whole thing is going to look like eventually, so... But yeah, I didn't even really know, like... I still to this day don't know who the other competition was, so... Could have been... Holy mother of God, today, what is happening? 30 months? Year, month. 30 months! You're insane, the lot of you. Good morning! 30 months, dude. That's a long time. That's a long... yeah, that's a long time. I'm not insane, I'm just a nerd. Any more that's just gonna randomly walk on? Where did you even spawn, creeper? There's no dark spots in here. Oh, maybe from here, actually, it might have spawned there. And then he's just like, came out of the thing. Maybe a bit here as well. Oh. I am. Yeah, I think he is. I think he's a nutter. Kath is. Kath's a nutter. Fucking nutter, mate. Bum, 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 bum. I can hear villages. Surely I can't hear those ones. Huh. Bank. Okay, so we definitely need to widen this side here. That's the side that needs widening, because that... Actually, I want to shave this bit off, and I want to shave this bit off. But yeah, that's the side that needs widening. Also not sure about how flat that wall's going to be. We'll kind of see how that's going to work. But yeah, I want to widen it like 4 or 5 blocks in this direction, I think. That's going to take a lot. Oh, but if I do it 4 or 5 blocks, then I'm going to lose this. Well, we can invert that, right? So that can be like a really crazy overhang pillar. I'm not so keen on that flat wall either, so that all needs to go. We need to like push that out a couple of blocks. It needs to go out to that part there, and then we need to like drag this down a little bit more. And probably shave that up. The end of the month. OFT2 for Starliner. I think a lot of things are coming up at the end of the month. Get it right. We'll see. I don't have that much faith in Boeing, I have to admit. They're not a company that, at the moment, I think, oh yeah, they're really, really good. You know what I mean? Hey, let's work on shaving this bit away now. Oops, that's not right. Kinda gotta be careful with around here, because if I take too much away, it's gonna look odd. What time is it? Not quite time for Phoenix yet. Okay. Two capsules. We will have 2 capsules going to the ISS. There are already 2 capsules going to the ISS, dude. This will be the 3rd. And when you say we, who do you mean by we? Because I'm not American. Neither is most of the people in the chat, I would imagine. Maybe. Well, there might be a few other Americans. Kath's Canadian. Janice is American. She was here. Fox was here. I don't think she's still here, though. She likes to come in every so often and insult me and then disappear. Which is perfectly fine by me. I have no qualms to that whatsoever. Just so people are aware. That's the sort of thing I would do anyway, right? Like, oh no, I don't want that. I can't reach that. I missed the jump. I've got all that crappy dirt right there. I think I just caught everything mid-air, which... Ah! Ah! Look at how many times I've done that. So this, on this side, what we've got here is just get rid of all of this. But I think what I might do with this whole segment, because I do want to build something here, I think we can link it up with that spot over there, because I want a bridge going up and over. Once we get Starship operational, we could take the ISS, put it in a museum back to Earth. Supposedly. I'm not so sure why anyone would want to do that. You won't be able to take all of the ISS down. You'd be able to take some of the modules, not all of them. I don't think you'd be able to get Zvezda in... Because what's the capacity volume on Starship? I don't think it's got a big enough capacity for some of the Russian segments. Let's also not forget that the Russian segments were launched on Proton, which had a much bigger fairing than the shuttle. The shuttle's cargo bay. It was skinnier, but it was longer. 100 tons. It's bigger than the ISS module. Than the ISS modules. Yeah, it's bigger than the American ISS modules, but I don't think it's bigger than Zvezda. Or any of the other Russian stuff. And like I said, yeah, because Proton had a longer fairing than... I don't think it's I think Proton was skinnier. Is Proton 5 meter? What's the volume of the fairings? So I think it's skinnier, but but the volume of the fairing is longer. But I can't find the figures right now, and I'm lacking inclination to do it. And no, T-Man, 100 tons is the mass. Supposed mass. I don't think that's the volume capacity. I don't know what volume the capacity would be in. I mean, that would be in liters, right? Like you don't measure it in mass weight. I don't know what I don't know what Starship's volume capacity is. new Russian module going up on July 20th. Yep, just in time for the Russians to pull out of the ISS. It's a really old... You say it's new, though. You say it's new. It's old technology. Like, this was supposed to fly early 2000s. Like, it's actually really old. It's an old piece of architecture. Should have flown a long time ago. But the Russian Space Agency had massive budget cuts. In the early to mid 2000s, and then things got out of hand, and sequentially things just got worse, and then it was shelved for a very long time, and then they've pretty much brought it back from being shelved, I think, and they're finally going to dock it up. Oops. Wait, actually, you know what? I want to get rid of that anyway. No, I need that there. Watch me change my mind about that, but we'll see. Nope. PS module. Again, old technology. I'm not sure why they couldn't keep the PS module up there, but I'm okay with getting rid of the ISS. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually okay with it. I'm not someone who wants us to stay. It'd be nice to keep the ISS or something like that running in low Earth orbit, but it's not gonna last forever. You know, I think the Russians are definitely putting their eggs in other baskets at the moment as well. Alright, that's looking really good. Back to Earth using Starship and some other vehicle and put in a museum. Pretty sure that was what EJ was saying, right? That's what he wanted to do. I don't understand that. It's okay. I get it. I don't quite get it, though. I understand why people are nostalgic about it, right? Like, I wouldn't put it in a museum. If I was bringing it back to Earth, I would study that thing. Send it to the scientists. Let them figure out what long-term spaceflight in... that is not meant to be there. I did not know Enderman could pick up the... that you got that from... That's an Enderman that's done that. What a dick. I didn't know Enderman could do that. Could do with the tech upgrade. The ISS? Oh yeah. But no, I wouldn't put it in a museum. I would put it in a lab somewhere and do long-term studying on like the effects on the materials and the metals and like all the external. But that's really useful information that we can do, like to build future ships and things like that. Now Hubble, I would bring that down and put that over the shuttle. You see, that's just nostalgia, though. I'm not someone who is like heavy on nostalgia for that sort of thing. Like, the reason that we go to space isn't so that we can say, "Ha, look at this. This is a monument. We should praise the past." We go to space to look forward to the future. And what greater legacy can a piece of equipment give us than telling us how to build better ships that can navigate into the space in the future? Like, that's a much better legacy. Instead of having, like, snotty tourists walk all over it. I'm dead against that. I am dead against it. I think Now, the shuttles, them being in museums and stuff, that kind of makes a little bit more sense, right? Because you can't really learn too much more about the shuttles than what we already know now. They were studied on the ground after every launch, and we found what the failures were and move on. It's an archaic system, so let's just, you know, having that on display is fine. I get that. But turning the ISS into a museum, no, I'm not okay with that. That's just, I guess it gets people interested in space. I guess that's the point. But no, I wouldn't do that. I don't understand why you want to do that. If you're going to bring it back to Earth, study it, discover what long-term effects has been happening on, like, the materials and stuff that made the different components. And take it apart. Take it apart and learn from how it's lasted. And when I'm saying take it apart, I mean rip it to pieces and figure out what that is, and then recycle it. That's what I would do. Putting it as a museum, that's just storing junk. That's just hoarding. It's a bad part of human nature, is that we like to keep things and preserve things, and like, preserving things are great, but like I think it's a much better legacy to rip it apart and kind of study from it and learn and grow. So that's what I would do if I was in charge. Putting it in the ocean is a bad idea? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. We put a lot of boosters in the ocean. In the ocean, it can at least be home to new biology and life. Right. Big decision number 2. Am I going to block off this cave? I think I am. I think I'm going to block it off. Don't need it anymore. Hey, Stereo. Shuttle was a fantastic system and did more science than any other spacecraft, but it in turn held us back by keeping us in low Earth orbit instead of continuing our presence in the moon and reaching Mars. I 100% agree with that. I'm not a shuttle fanboy. I do like the shuttle. I think that actually, Stereo, you've summed it up in a nutshell right there. It was a fantastic piece of equipment, and it definitely had its place for a while. Well, no, I mean it never reached its full potential. That was the issue with the shuttle. It never reached its full potential, and that's my biggest grievance with it, was that it was poorly managed. And yeah, it's a cool concept for reusability. Exactly. Yeah. You think that's what created SpaceX as it is now? Well, yeah, obviously. Because without it, we wouldn't. Well, actually, no. Because yes and no. Because before the shuttle came around, there were other ideas on how to do reusable systems. That was always the plan from von Braun. Always wanted to make his rockets and stuff reusable. It's just more efficient, right? Like the analogy of turning rocket science into the aero industry isn't native to Elon's ideas. He didn't come up with that. That's been floating around for a long time. Still can't believe NASA had to throw away the Saturn V and Apollo. Perfectly capsule system that could have easily done what STS was supposed to do, and then some, without having to spend astronomical amounts on research and development. So the reason why they got rid of Saturn V was because they wanted to... Okay, so it wasn't NASA. First off, Stereo. I'm gonna go into historical, political things for a second. I tend not to do political stuff on stream, but this is learning about history, it's a little bit different. So historical political views. So in the 1970s, President Nixon was obviously president of America. The Cold War was in full effect. There was still elements of the space race. The Soviets had kind of moved away from doing moon-related business, and space had stopped being so much of an interest because we'd been to the moon and America had won the space race. So the public interest definitely was on a huge decline in the mid to late 70s. So basically, NASA presented two options to the president. So like say, right, well, this is going to be the future of the United States. Option number one was a space shuttle / space station design to stay in low Earth orbit and basically do reconnaissance and spying and all other sorts of stuff on the Soviet Union. Option number two was to continue down the Apollo branch as it was intended, go down the nerve rocketry, and get the Saturn V to send humans out to Mars and be the first humans on Mars. So that was option number two. Now, obviously, they went with the space station, space shuttle approach. However, about 4 or 5 years later, budget cuts, continuing fall in popularity and more strain on Congress and things like that. Budget cuts kept happening, and then basically again two options were presented to President Nixon. Well, we can either have a space shuttle or we can have a space station. That was it. And at this point, we'd already gone into the development of this shuttle. So I think we kind of cancelled the Apollo because they played around with Skylab for a little bit, and they did Apollo Soyuz and all other sort of stuff after the cancellation of the moon Apollo missions. I think I've been saying Apollo instead of Saturn V. I apologize. I'm trying to get through it as fast as possible because it's a really long, complicated story. ISS, no, that didn't come till much later. Much later. It was Skylab. 1978? Oh, 1978? Skylab? When was Skylab? 1974. Sorry, my bad. 1974, Skylab. But and the Soviet Union. So the reason why they decided to scrap doing more station stuff and they went down the space shuttle thing was because they'd kind of they'd started to phase out. They'd started to phase out Saturn V. To be replaced by STS, Space Transport System, which was the shuttle. And they had a failure in Skylab, which meant that Skylab was no, they didn't have a failure with Skylab. They were trying to get the shuttle online fast enough to function for Skylab because Saturn V was no longer operational. They didn't have that bridging gap. So Skylab was still up in space and it got into a degrading orbit and it came back into the atmosphere. So basically we had a shuttle in the early 80s with no space station. And the reason why we didn't build another space station was because budget cuts, and we stuck with the shuttle because Skylab was supposed to be the station that we kept up there that was functioning by the shuttle. So that's what Skylab was supposed to be. Because obviously the Soviets had Salyut and all the other stations that they did. They did so many different stations at that time with Soyuz. So yeah, that's kind of why we went down that path, and it's very geopolitical. change of terms in presidencies and things like that happened. The decline in popularity of space flight in the 70s and then early 80s. Then the shuttle comes in the early 80s. And yeah, no, the Soviets also decided that they didn't want to do as much space stuff as well, and they pulled back too. So that's kind of what happened. It's a very long... It's a long story. It's actually really interesting to look into. I haven't really given it justice. But yeah, STS was supposed to do... The concept of STS is to basically pave the way to reusability into space. That was what that was supposed to do. But budget cut after budget cut after budget cut. It was poorly managed, basically. Doesn't make it any less frustrating that the politics ended up stagnating spaceflight for so long. I would say politics still stagnates spaceflight. And again, I don't want to go too much into the political landscape as it is now, but I have noticed a change in NASA's outlook in the last year. Actually, in the last 7 months. I've definitely noticed NASA making a lot of changes and a lot of budget cuts. And it's infuriating because it's pretty much the same thing that's been happening over and over and over again. It seems to be like NASA gets rear-ended whenever a new administration comes in. Regardless of political stand, like however you feel about politics or anything like that, like that seems to be the case. Making strides along with every other private spaceflight company. I wouldn't say every other private spaceflight company, but yeah, I mean, SpaceX are definitely the leading force. I wouldn't say every spaceflight company. All right, I want to get this. And yeah, no, I appreciate, Stereo, that you probably did know a lot of that. I was kind of more explaining that for people that maybe necessarily didn't know that, especially because I'm streaming Minecraft, and Minecraft brings in an audience that maybe aren't as interested in spaceflight. It's not like when I play Kerbal. So yeah, I appreciated you did know that, Stereo. It wasn't just necessarily for you, it was for others in the stream. Mini space race between suborbital vehicles, Blue Origin, and yeah, we're all laughing at them, right? Like, everyone's laughing at them, right? All these toy boy billionaires that think, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to space. No, I'm gonna go to space. No, I'm gonna be up there first. We're all laughing at them, right? Because SpaceX has destroyed them. And Elon's like, yeah, I've got Elon's like, yeah, I've already got an orbital class vehicle. Fuck you. And I'm not going to space because I'm not a toy boy billionaire, you know. I actually want spaceflight to be good for people, you know. Fuck Branson and don't get me wrong, Virgin Atlantic are actually pretty good, and Blue Origin is pretty good too, but I just, it's just a publicity stunt. That's all it is. It's the only reason that they're going on there for maiden voyages. It's a publicity stunt. I don't. Suborbital race. I'm gonna go to the moon. Yes. Well, yeah, it's now actually 100% more likely that he will get to the moon before either of them. Because Starship won the thing. But okay, so that's what I'm talking about with the change in the political stance, right? With Starship winning the what's it bid. Starship won that not because it was the best, but because it was the cheapest, which is a very worrying thing. I don't want to be all hating on SpaceX. I do like SpaceX. I am quite a SpaceX fanboy. But at the same time, like, NASA's made this mistake before by going with the cheapest option, and it doesn't end well. So, I don't know. Don't get me wrong, I like Starship. I do. I'm just surprised that they went... I'm not surprised, actually. In retrospect, I'm really not surprised. At least, in retrospect, I shouldn't have been surprised that it was Starship that won the moon contract. It's just weird. It does give me cause for concern that the whole project is going to go under. I'll be honest. Haven't caught up on Starship news, have you? No, why? NASA is getting the money for less for landers, and they're trying to get a second lander. We are definitely going to the moon. I will be surprised if they get that money. I will be heavily surprised. Do you know why I will be surprised if that happens? Because the moonshot was a very strong President Trump propaganda thing. He used that as a political gain. So it's from a political point of view, it doesn't make sense that the opposition would also be fighting for it as severely as the Trump administration did. And that's all I'm going to say on it. But then I can be a bit of a pessimist when it comes to these sort of things. You can happily come into this stream after it's happened and you can tell me how wrong I was. Although that being said, towards the build-up, I probably will change my mind if that does happen. I'm very well known for changing my mind on things. So... I am going to block that off. I've been wrong about a lot of things in the past. But yeah. Some documents for a second moon lander in the next step 2 program. Just because there's documents doesn't mean it's going to happen, dude. There was documents for the Nerva engine, the nuclear-powered engine from whatever. I mean, there was documents for the Constellation program, you know. Documents mean nothing. Documents means absolutely nothing. It's the money that means everything. If you get the funding for it, then... and then even then you're not safe. You know what I mean? Like... No, it's... yeah, I'm very pessimistic when it comes to these sort of things. Just because I've looked forward to stuff in the past. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a pessimist. Yeah. Could push that up a bit, actually. We're getting there. We're getting there. I'm really liking that shape that we've got in there. I need to close that off. Then once I've closed that off, I'll be able to see where I need to take this wall out to. I'm running out of time though with Minecraft today, so we've done. I think we have done quite a lot of work today. It's just that it's taken a long time. It feels like I've not made too much progress because I'm just doing the shaping. I need that, because otherwise I won't be able to get out. Okay, so that should be the right shape, I think. Get rid of that, put that in, get rid of this, and put soon. I may have a look at that in a sec. Ow. I think my playlist has run out, which means I've been going for 2 hours? Not quite 2 hours. That's kind of nice. Okay, so the next phase of this will be taking this out and pushing that right back, that whole wall, so that it's not as flat. And then this, I think I will arc that round so it comes right down. I might get rid of like this whole wall here and make this more of a sheer drop. Will probably block this cave network off. But it's still there if I wanted to build out in this direction, I guess. Does that it actually goes quite a way, doesn't it? Oh, hello. I've obviously been in here and taken a bunch of lava at some point. This goes back to the cows. Oh, actually it did. Does it still do that? Yes, it does. Go this way though. So again, I think I'm gonna block that off, I think. So that we can't get through it. So yeah, there's still a lot of work to work on this, but it's starting to look a little bit more like a natural formed cave. There are like areas that don't quite look right, like this overhang doesn't quite look right yet. I think I need to get rid of a lot of what this is, but I can't do that until I've moved this up here. It could look cool if you do some sort of layer system. Yeah, I'm going to do that, Kath. I'm going to do that. Basically, I build like this in stages. So I like to get the shape right first. So this is about the right shape. And then I like to do the detailing and stuff. So the detailing will probably look similar to like this sort of stuff that's going on up here. But I will also probably add in some greenery as well, just to give a little bit of color. And I might have like water streams coming down too, that are like hidden behind blocks. And we also need to figure out lighting and things. So there's a lot of work still left to do, but I'm just kind of like tidying it up right now by getting rid of the textures and stuff. Like there's andesite there. I want to get rid of that. Basically, I need a blank canvas. So making a lush cave. Kind of, yeah. So, in the ravine, I want there to be vegetation. So, because the reason why I want vegetation in the ravine is because, usually ravines are formed from water flow and stuff like that. So ravines can be quite damp canyons and stuff. And I do want... Yeah, I want it to feel like there has been some sort of like damp feel to it, especially up in there. I'll get rid of all those torches too, so it'll be really dark up there, and it should look quite nice. But yeah, I need to continue the shaping first. Very moist, yeah, moist is the correct word. I want to turn that into an overhang, and then I want to make this a lot wider, so it just feels bigger and grander. And that's the that's the spider spawner up there, and then this whole cave, eventually I would like to connect the ravine up to... There's a little cave network here, and then there's also another ravine here. I want to connect it all up, and yeah, this will get like tender loving care treatment and stuff. So that's kind of like the grand scheme of the plan in the base. And then inside the ravines and stuff, there will be all sorts of... Well, okay, so this is what I'm thinking. I want to decorate the ravine first, and then I want to turn it into a sorting system, a storage area. So the big ravine will be the storage room. So this ravine will be like a massive storage room, especially on that side. So yeah, but I've got a lot of work to do before we do that. And yes, it will be all automatic. Oh, he missed. Come on, Womble. Dude. Fuck off. What a dick. He didn't even drop the piece of grass he had in his hand. I got an ender pearl though. No, I picked it up. Okay. Must have picked it up. So yeah, that's the plan. This, I think that's gonna have to move. I don't know what I'm doing in this direction. I don't know. But like all of these little cave areas and stuff, I want to turn them into like farms and all sorts of things. But yeah. So yeah, this, I think I might have like a water flow system going through the cave. We can have it like, maybe start here or something, and then you can have like a underground water river section that like flows down into this bit down here and all sorts. I don't know. But yeah, I've got ideas. I'm getting inspiration. I'm kind of... Which is nice. It's nice to like feel inspired by the new blocks. Because, yeah, like that tuff, I think will go really well with like some greenery and stuff. And in fact, the reason why I used the tuff in here is because I thought it would look quite nice with the wheat when the wheat was growing. But now it's yellow, it doesn't quite work as well. I don't think. But anyway. Name and scheme of starships. Now it's not SN anymore. It's ship 20 booster 4. Okay. Okay. That's just publicity stuff. Anyway. Right, I'm gonna go and have a break. I'm gonna go and use the bathroom. I'm gonna get some snacks. I will be back with a bit of Phoenix Wright. My head's feeling better, so that's good. But I'm still not 100%. So, I'll be back in a sec.